Welcome, everybody, to the X-Bomb Sports Live Show. My name is Andrew Valentin. Pause for laughter and claps. This script sucks. All right, welcome, everybody, here to
What
the
are you,
X-Bomb
Joey
Sports Live Show.
Tribbiani?
Maybe. Will you let me be? Welcome to the X-Bomb Sports Live Show. My name is Andrew Valentin. I will be your host for this evening's show. I hope you're all having a fantastic Wednesday. With me, of course, are the fantastic, the amazing, incredible partners that I usually have. Next to me is Mr. Chris Ruseski. Chris, how you doing? Welcome back.
I'm doing great.
Awesome, man. It's great to have you back here. You ready to do this thing?
Yeah, ready to go.
Alrighty. And, of course, next to Chris is the man himself who's wearing his glasses on his hat for whatever reason. I don't know.
They're really dark.
And still wearing your – are you still wearing that from last Saturday?
What, the hat?
No, your hoodie.
No,
You were
it's
wearing
my
that last
work hoodie.
– oh,
It was
okay.
last Wednesday.
Oh, last Wednesday. Oh, God, dude.
I
Wash
washed
it.
it.
Okay, just making sure. It's Tom McKinney, ladies and gentlemen. Tom, how you doing, man?
Best mascot in the NHL.
Uh,
Edmonton's mascot, Gritty. Bailey, LA Kings, or the Avalanche.
I'd say the
I'm going
Avalanche.
Gritty. It was painful for me to do.
Okay. All right. Well, you can tell how Tom's doing here, ladies and gentlemen. But we got a fun one for you guys to talk about today. We've got NHL, we've got MLB, and, of course, NBA, which we're going to tear into that one later on in the second half of the program. But you guys ready to start this one off?
Let's start it off.
All right, let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. The first thing we got to talk here about, of course, NHL conference finals are officially here, and it's been a battle all the way through and through so far. Obviously, one team right now kind of destroying another. Meanwhile, another one is sort of locked in the midst of trying to see exactly who can come out in this one. So let's just get into this right now. So to start it off, the Eastern Conference Finals, guys, we've got Boston versus Carolina. And Boston is running away with this series right now.
Oh, my bad.
3-0 here against.
Can I point something out?
What's that?
So the Islanders swept the Penguins.
Yes.
Carolina swept the Islanders.
Yes.
And Boston's going to sweep the Hurricanes. I don't want to be Boston right now, but I'm going to be Boston any day of the week.
Yeah. No,
They're just championship city.
This has been a crazy outcome from the entirety of it. Boston is just seemingly to eat through Carolina. Now, I mean, I gotta ask this one right off the bat, and I'll start with you, Tom, and then we'll go with you, Chris. What do you guys seeing? Is this Boston's to just win outright? And if so,
Well, yeah, it was once Tampa went out.
Yeah.
But don't sweep. Let Carolina win tomorrow.
You don't think
I don't
sweep.
want them to sweep.
Okay, so you don't want to sweep.
No, because they give them too many days off.
Okay, all right,
So,
all right, Chris. What do you say, man? What are you feeling on this?
Surprised Carolina lost because they haven't lost a game in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They've been undefeated at home,
Right.
and to lose their first home game, Boston has a chance to sweep.
Yeah, no, it's a shock, really. I mean, Boston's done an incredible job. I mean, you can see these guys they're coming after Carolina everywhere. I mean, Carolina's attacking too, but you can see Boston's finding a way to shut them down early. I mean, they're not even getting a chance to really cross that blue line as effective as they have before, and now you can see where kind of the experience. I mean, we talked about this beforehand, experience versus youth. You know, who's going to win out in the end? I mean, I know Carolina has some experience, but not like Boston has.
Boston's always been that defensive team.
Yeah.
They score here and there, but defense has been Boston's for what, past 10 years maybe?
I would even say longer than that.
Yeah.
I mean, going back even way back to the 70s and the 60s. I mean, they've always been a tough team that plays hard. I mean, the one thing I always notice is they like to do that counterattack where it's always they kind of sit back, like you said, play good defense, and then when they get the puck back, it's an all-out, just free-for-all, fly to the net and attack at every single level there. So, yeah, it's interesting to see what is happening here, because I thought Carolina would be more in the mix on this. And now for you guys, have you seen anything from Carolina that you have seen that maybe is the disadvantage to them? I mean, what are you guys thinking?
they just need to get better.
That's a good overall assumption. Anything in particular they should get better at? I mean, that you see?
They need to just. There's obviously something wrong with Patrice Bergeron and I can't think of the other guy's name. The other, not Marchand, it's the other one. Oh, Pastrnak.
Mm-hmm.
That's who it is. They just need to shut them down, and if they can, they almost did it yesterday.
Yeah.
And almost took the game. It was only a 2-1 game.
Yeah, it was
the
close.
other two games where they were blowouts.
Yes.
It was almost like a baseball score.
Yeah, it was bad.
But if they can figure that out, and Sebastian Aho, by the way, great name, can figure it out. Tuvo Teravainen can do something.
Yeah.
Start McElhaney. Don't start Mrazek. Game 4. You almost have to. It's win or go home.
Yeah. No. I mean, at this point, it's see what sticks against the wall. At this point, I mean, it's game 4. Like you said, it's win or go home. So I mean, what are you feeling, Chris? How do you feel? What do you think can change for Carolina that you think they can turn this around?
I think they just got to go all out offense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just try to keep it in the opposite zone as much as possible and try to keep scoring.
No, yeah,
because
definitely.
Boston, they'll grab it and score when you're not looking.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just for you guys to know. In Game 1, Bruins won it 5-2 against Carolina. In Game 2, they won it 6-2, and then of course Game 3, it was a 2-1. They kept it close, but still Boston was able to take the lead.
I turned Game 2 off.
Did you really?
I turned it off. I was like, this game's over.
It was over pretty early.
I think I turned it off in the second. I was like, this game's over. Boom.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I got the other. This game was definitely over. It's
Yeah.
like 6-0 now.
Yeah, no, the Bruins have really been able to handle the Hurricanes, and I was gonna ask who's gonna win this series, but I mean, is it pretty clear that it is probably
Boston in 5.
Boston.
You say Boston in 5?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
Carolina squeaks one out.
Okay. Then what do you say,
I'm going
Chris?
to go with Carolina probably the next 2 games at home, and
Okay.
then just blow it in Boston.
Yeah.
You got to remember this. Game 4 is their last game. Would be technically their last game, so they would win this one and then lose it in Boston.
And
Game 5.
lose in
Yeah,
Boston.
right.
All right, yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I think they can stretch it to Game 6. I think that the youth can kind of start to come out a bit and show that they've got some agility. Outplay Boston a little bit in those next 2 games, but I'm kind of going with Boston at this point. Experience.
By the way, did you guys see Don Cherry trying to get back
Yeah,
at the
he tried to.
the bunch of jerks?
Yeah, he's like, I don't care. There's still a bunch of cherry. Just chill.
Wore
out."
a full Bruin suit.
Yeah.
What a class act. I love that man as much as I hate him at the same time.
Yeah, he's a very love-hate
He's
situation.
irritating.
He is. He really is. Well, he's the grumpy old man on the lawn, unfortunately, at this point. That's kind of how he's coming off.
Yeah.
All right, so away from the Eastern Conference Finals, we always got the Western Conference Finals as well.
Those games are on so late.
It's San Jose Sharks versus the St. Louis Blues. Right now, they're tied 1-1 in the series. In the first game, it was the Sharks beating the Blues 6-3. Then you had the Blues beating the Sharks in Game 2, 4-2. Now, this series obviously kind of a deadlock right now. Some people were saying it was going to be more of a blowout in San Jose's favor. But what are you guys feeling on this? Chris, start with you. I mean, how do you feel on this series right now?
I like San Jose. I've always liked the Sharks. I think they play pretty good and high quality offense, good defense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, this team is they're loaded with talent, that's for sure. Tom, what are you feeling for this? I mean, who do you think has the advantage in this one?
I don't care.
I know.
I don't care. I hate the Blues.
Well, but pick one. So you not pick the Blues, then you're going with the Sharks.
I'm going with the Sharks. I want Jumbo Joe to get a Stanley Cup.
Okay.
If it can't be Boston, I want Jumbo Joe.
That's fair. This matchup, I mean, it is, to me, it's really been like a dogfight between the two of them. I mean, they've certainly.
It's going to 7, by the way.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to 7?
Yeah, Sharks are going to the third game 7.
Okay. All right. Honestly, when it comes down to it, I'm looking at these two teams, and I think it's tough to pick because I like the way the Blues play. I think they play tough.
Get out.
Stop. Just stop, okay? I do. I like the way they play. I think they play with a lot of heart. I think they play nonstop action. I know they've got shut down in Game 1, but Game 2 they kind of showed a lot of resilience because they could have easily found themselves, in a position where they could just be like, oh, we give up. But they kept fighting, and what happens? They end up winning this game. So, I like the way the Blues play. I think the Sharks have the better experience. I think they have the better talent, but I think the Blues can pull it out in some way. Right.
But again, it's on at freaking 7. Oh, it's on 7.
Yeah, it's on at 7, so
right.
it's not too late.
But the other games started
I
at
know,
like
it
9
was
o'clock.
late.
And I'm like,
It was late.
Yeah, well, if you live in California, they're starting
I
at
don't
like
care.
4 o'clock.
He doesn't like the West Coast times. That's all.
No, it's stupid,
Yeah.
especially when the Hawks play over there.
Well, I mean, this is the way the world works. It's
don't
a
care
different
how the
time
world
zone.
works.
It's different time zones for everybody. All right, so for this one, obviously, the teams are right now deadlocked 1-1. Is there an X factor that you're seeing in either one of these teams that you think could give them an advantage, be it the Sharks or the Blues?
Yeah, the fact that the Blues fought their way back from January 1st being dead last in the league and now in the Western Conference Final. I noticed you wrote that in because you messed up.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah.
Thanks for pointing it out.
I had to. But yeah, so other than that, I think they're trash and they're not going to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, they burned themselves out in the regular season.
Okay, all right. I mean, it's that
You
is
gotta
definitely
remember though. There is one thing you have to remember: the Sharks have played 2 series that have gone to 7.
right. So and not only that too, but they've got a lot of guys. I mean, they're not. I will say up in age because for hockey players, certainly you can go quite a long time being on skates. But I mean, they are a bit older. Some of these guys have taken on some brutal punishment, so you don't know if everybody's actually 100% healthy. I mean, there's a big question because you go to Game 7, who's more ready at that point? If it does go to that point, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but guys that are a little bit older, they know how to win.
Mm-hmm.
Even in these tough, they know how to suck it up and hey, you get injured. That's what the off season's for.
Quote unquote, they ain't no Enos Cantor and posting stuff on Twitter. They go out and play with broken legs and don't complain about it.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, this is, to me, I think this could go to Game 7. I mean, these two teams right now, I think, are going to just completely fight it out. I think you're going to see something spectacular happen at some point in this game. I think it's going to be like overtime, last goal, like last minute kind of chuck the puck and score the goal or something like that. I think you're going to see something amazing happen in this series. This is the one that I feel like it's really going to come down to. Now, the final thing being on this situation, how do you guys feel that the series is going to come out? What do you guys feel? Who do you think's coming out in this one?
Sharks in 7.
You saying Sharks in 7?
It's going 7 no matter what. We're all in agreement that way.
Okay, all right. I mean, you never know, man. I mean, the Blues could surprise us. You don't know. I don't know.
Where do you really think this is going?
I mean, I think it could go to Game 6, maybe Game 5.
Be honest with yourself right now. Where is this series
all right. I mean, Game 6, I could see it. I
think it's just going to go back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, look, these teams.
Thank you.
These teams are very these teams have very evenly stacked kind of abilities. I mean, they both play well defensively. They both attack aggressively on the offense. They both have some pretty good goaltenders minding the net. So it is going to be a slugfest, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be Game 7. But that's the prediction that we're all going to make because I mean these two teams are kind of just on the even par with each other.
It's gonna come down to goaltending.
Yeah. So you say Sharks. What are you feeling? You're saying Sharks?
I'm Sharks.
Okay.
Only because I'm a Hawk fan and I hate the Blues.
That's fair. I'm also going with the Sharks too, just because for me, it comes down to experience. I mean, and also to
you got to remember the last time these two faced in the playoffs was when the Sharks went to the Stanley Cup and they beat St. Louis.
Yeah. No. Yeah, that's true. All right. So then we've kind of got our matchup. Then it's Bruins versus Sharks. Then I think that's what the consensus is on this table.
Was not my pick from the beginning of the playoffs.
No,
it was
Bruins,
not. Calgary, and
yes,
that went out the way
real fast, mind you. But you still got your Bruins in there, so
Bruins all day. Let's go.
So you're picking the Bruins against the Sharks?
Yeah,
huh?
dude. I want another championship parade in Boston.
Okay, and
even though I'm not there.
Now, what are you predicting for the outcome? What are you thinking?
Oh, that's going 6 or 7.
Game 6 or 7, really? Okay. All right. So Bruins, and what would you say, 6?
Yeah, 6.
Okay. All right. Chris, what are you feeling for this series?
Yeah, I like the Bruins over the Sharks.
Okay. What game are you feeling for them?
That could be a shootout. I think. I'll go 7.
Okay. All right. Nice,
I will say real quick though, I really don't care then at that point. I do want Jumbo Joe to win a Stanley Cup because I think he'll retire eventually.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't get one, it'll be like Henrik Lundqvist who wants out of New York now.
Is that a hint right
Maybe.
there? Yeah, I think. Oh God, this is difficult because I think they both have that perfect balance of power where they're gonna hit each other like crazy. Like you said, Chris, it's gonna be a shootout. I mean, there's such an even match between these two. You know what?
Pick.
I know. You know what? I'm gonna say Sharks. I think the Sharks pull it out. I think it's like an overtime win type of situation.
Ooh,
in
those
Game
are 7.
Exciting. Yeah.
Those are exciting.
Game
That's when you
7,
throw the beer
overtime
in the air.
win. That's what I want to see. Sharks win it against the Boston Bruins. That's what I'm going with. Just because, I mean, at the end of the day, look, I think it's going to be exciting no matter what if these two teams match up because both of them are going to hit. You're probably going to see some good fights. You're probably going to see some amazing goals be made. I mean, magic can happen in that kind of situation. So that's where I stand with this. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it for the NHL. But what do you guys think about this situation? You guys can comment down below. Let us know what you guys think. Who's winning the Western Conference Finals? Who's winning the Eastern Conference Finals? Who's your Stanley Cup pick out of those two? Who's winning that? Let us know down below. All right, moving away from the NHL, we've got baseball talk, ladies and gentlemen. Baseball is here. Now, we've been talking a lot about the Cubs and the White Sox because we live here in Chicago. And
I thought we lived in Florida.
no, where have you been? You've been in Philly. That's the thing.
It's pretty nice outside, so it feels like we're in
It
Florida.
feels like it is. But we've been talking a lot about what's going on here in Chicago, but we haven't really talked about what's going on with the rest of the league. And so I thought it would be good to kind of look at what's going on with the other 28 teams that's going out there.
New
And
record today.
what's that?
Edwin Jackson. He started for the.
Did he
Blue
really
Jays.
start?
Yeah, he
Well,
started for the
congratulations
Blue
to Edwin
Oh.
Jackson breaking.
Longest or most teams.
Most teams played for.
14, I think.
Before,
yeah,
before
14
30,
teams.
before age 36.
That is it really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't believe that. Well, you broke Octavio Dotel's record, so congratulations on that. I mean, hopefully you can do something. I mean, you went 6-3 last year. Let's see what you can do now. But yeah, the other 28 teams, I thought it'd be good to kind of just see, who do we like, who are we surprised with, all that good stuff. So you guys ready to do this?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do this. All right. So MLB season's obviously opened up. First question to ask you guys is, what's your favorite team right now in the league, outside, of course, of our Chicago teams? Who are you liking from what's out there right now? What are you feeling like?
I like Boston.
Is there anybody that's not Boston that you're not liking?
No,
Can I ask you that? Outside of Boston, is there anybody else that you're feeling right now that you're really liking? Because I know Boston's kind of riding on a streak, but what are you feeling? Outside of Boston, I'm asking you.
I mean, the other team I would probably have to pay attention. I mean, personally, I have to pay attention to what the Brewers and Cardinals are doing.
Right.
But I don't like to pay attention to
Well,
them.
yeah. But yeah, like what's the favorite one that you're kind of like, I'm interested in them?
It's hard.
Yeah.
You know who ruined it for me? A-Rod.
You have such a beef with him.
You posted it on
I
Facebook.
did.
And I agreed
did.
100% with that whole
I
thing.
did. Yeah.
Did you read it?
Yes, I did.
Tell
it was
me
the
that's
Dead-
not wrong.
It was the Deadspin article that talked about
No,
how.
it was on the Chicago Tribune.
Oh, the Tribune. I forgot which one I shared. Because Deadspin said another one too. It's like, well, A-Rod, just shut up.
That's exactly what 670 to score keeps playing his sound bites.
Yeah.
The 2 to 4 peak guys or 2 to 6 or whatever it is, play his sound bites
Yeah.
every Monday. They're gonna play it again on Monday. Listen to them. They're hilarious.
Yeah, he's got to work on that for sure.
Well, for a Chicago fan, this is the third Sunday in a row that ESPN has the Cubs on.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that. Jeez.
Yeah, they're playing the Nationals. So we've had,
Oh, right.
we've
Yeah,
had
that's right.
We had the Cardinals,
Right.
and we had Quintana starting.
Yeah.
We had Lester and the Brewers, and now we have Hendricks versus the Nationals, which is going to be a trash game because the only reason it's on there is because of what happened last year.
Right, yeah. This is not going to be pretty. All right. Well, but can you look past A-Rod? Is that possible?
I'll try.
All right. Is just anybody that you really like are like, you know what? They're an interesting team.
More so just because of the player is Vlad Guerrero, or is the
Toronto?
Just
Okay.
because of Vlad Guerrero Jr. Now I don't get to watch many of their games because they're not relevant really, and they're
Yeah,
not from the U.S.
It's a little tough. Yeah.
But I'll flip it on when they're on. I'd have to say Seattle maybe is another one. But
Yeah,
that's a West Coast team, and they're so light.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, no, I like Seattle. That's one of the ones I'm really on too. I like the way that they've been playing. Chris, what about you? Is there any team that you really liking outside of it?
Early on, I'm looking at Houston.
Yeah.
You know, somehow they keep producing.
Yeah.
I mean,
tearing
they
it
do
up.
have a weak division.
Yeah. Right.
I mean,
Yeah, there's no NL Central.
yeah. I mean, there's not much there. I mean, Seattle's decent,
Right.
you know, but where's Oakland gone? I mean,
Yeah,
They
they
started
pretty much
hot,
disappeared.
too.
Yeah.
and then the Angels is, you know, without Trout, that's their team, right?
Yeah, that's the entire team. I mean,
Otani's back.
Yeah.
Shohei
Yeah.
Otani, the only person who could really say his name on this, at least before he came up, I was the only one who could say his name right. And I was.
Were you?
Yeah, I was.
I'm
'Cause
pretty
you
sure.
kept stumbling through it. Brett stumbled through it.
I did not stumble through
Yeah, you
it.
did. You're like Shahe.
I may have pronounced it
it's
wrong. I don't remember stumbling it.
All right, well,
but-
you pronounced it wrong. I was able to pronounce it right. So,
Yeah. All right. So you
Yeah.
say Houston?
Houston.
Anybody else that you're liking, or any
I mean-
other favorites?
You know, that got a honorable mention. Boston.
Yeah.
'Cause-
That's fair.
I mean, Boston still has the same tools they had last year.
Yeah.
You know,
Chris Sales turned it around.
Hopefully. I know he had a fantastic game. What was
Well,
it yesterday?
that's the funny thing. The last time that Red Sox pitched 17 strikeouts was Pedro Martinez. I forget the year, but they were playing the Blue Jays, and they
Yeah.
lost that game too.
Yeah. Oh, did they really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I think Sale can thank the White Sox because that was the first win. Was
Yeah.
in
you're,
Chicago.
You're welcome, Chris. We gave you one because we love you, buddy.
No, you don't. You guys are terrible.
Shut up. Nobody asked you.
You guys got shut out by the Indians, who have the worst offense.
Yeah. All right. Honestly, I'm with you on that, Chris. With the Houston, I really do like the way that they've been playing. I mean, I'm always kind of a fan of Houston to some degree.
One team in particular? Continue what you were
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
I just want to talk about
Oh,
one team
yeah.
in particular.
The other team I'm always big on is the Dodgers. I'm kind of like the mini Dodgers fan. Come on, man. I got to support my man, Jose Valentin. I mean, he's my dude. He's my family. I can't go against family.
You have to go against family.
Can't go against
What's
family.
more important?
Can't go against the family.
Yeah, man. What did Godfather always tell us? Don't go against the family, man.
Dude, I haven't made through one of those movies.
Oh, what is wrong with you?
They're like 4.5 hours.
New topic. Tom's crazy because he's never watched it. No, I'm just
I've
kidding.
seen them. I just haven't made it through the whole
You'll
thing.
watch the Avengers. That's 3 hours long, but you won't sit down
Yeah,
for a 3-hour movie.
because
That's
I'm
The
interested
Godfather.
in that. I'm not
All
interested
right.
in the Godfather.
No, I like the Dodgers. I like Houston. I'm been watching some Philly. I like seeing what Philly's been doing. It's more so because of what Bryce Harper's not doing, but I mean, and of course,
Yeah.
I've also watched what the Brewers have been doing too.
Trash.
I think I like the way Yelich is playing, and
He's on the roids.
yeah.
He's friends with Ryan Braun.
Well, outside of Chicago, that's my team, the Brewers.
Really? Okay. Awesome. All right. So I was also gonna ask too.
Whoa.
what is this? What do you got?
I have a team I want to bash a little bit. The Miami Marlins. Can we just make them not a franchise anymore?
You mean rename them and send them somewhere else?
Yeah, let's send them to like North Dakota. Let's send a team in North Dakota.
You always need a team that you could pat in your stats, you know?
Right.
This is true, but you send them to North Dakota. You give North Dakota some fans.
How do you expect the White Sox to get good if we can't beat up on the Marlins every
You
now
put
and
them in the AL Central.
You know what the biggest downfall of that Marlins team was? That crappy stadium.
And Derek
Yes.
Jeter.
Well, Derek Jeter, for some reason, it's like, it's weird with him because it's like, oh, we have a plan, but then it's like, well, we don't really know what the plan
No,
is.
his plan
and-
is he wants everybody to learn Spanish.
well, that's his plan right now. How that? I mean, I
Why?
understand.
I don't get it.
Well,
Why not
it's
Chinese?
to
Why
get-
not Japanese?
I don't know. Probably to communicate better with the Latin players because, and not only that, but you got to remember, look at the market they're in. Miami is a very large
understand it.
Latin population.
I
You've got to kind of
understand it.
know your Spanish around
I
there.
get that 100%.
So, but I don't understand the whole thing of. I get it, but I don't.
mandatory, like,
Yeah, that's a weird one. That's a weird
like
one. I'll
if you
say.
want to learn Spanish, go more than welcome. You're
Yeah.
the one that's gonna have to be out in the public more. So yes, your players are, but you're also gonna want your players to focus on
Right.
this. And I'm pretty sure a lot of those players have picked up a lot of Spanish on the way,
Oh yeah. Well,
especially playing around like first off Starlin Castro.
right.
Like you
Well,
have
and you're-
guys.
Again, you're not far off from, you're right there in the hotbed of what is like a large Latin community. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, but making it mandatory, I don't get it. But this just kind of adds to the dysfunction that is this franchise. I mean, again, Jeter says he's got a plan, but we don't really know what the
What
plan
is your plan?
He's trading off everybody, but he doesn't really know who he wants to trade for. He wants to bring guys up, but he doesn't know who he wants to bring up. I mean, it's just a giant mess.
It's a cluster.
Well, it all started.
Yeah.
It's a cluster beep.
It all
Yeah.
started when they picked up Ozzie Guillen, and then
Yeah.
he did his thing and
Right.
got ousted out of Miami.
Yeah.
You pick up Barry Bonds to be your hitting coach.
Yeah, I
So
forgot
it's
about
just
that.
public media storm after media storm over
Right.
there.
Yeah,
How are you
it's-
going to get fans in the seats?
Right.
You keep
Who's their
coming up
coach
with this.
now? Or skipper? My bad.
Their manager?
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
no idea, to be quite honest.
Isn't it like?
Isn't it Don Mattingly?
Yeah,
Is
that's
it?
who it is.
I'm not 100%
what a
sure on that.
wash of a
Which,
player.
I mean, if it is, I feel so bad for that man because the thing, I mean, because you think as a manager, you kind of do have to have some sort of conversation with your owner. If he's got to talk with Derek Jeter, what's
Not
the
necessarily.
conversation? Well, no, but
Ask Tibbs how that went.
I think he's just getting a check.
you think he's just taking the check?
Come up, get a check.
I mean, that's very possible. I mean, at this point,
Jeter running the show. You got Mattingly, former Yankee, Mr. Baseball.
He's probably just waiting for maybe that next job that opens up. Who knows?
Because
I mean,
he did nothing when he was with the Dodgers.
I mean, he really.
I mean, he had a good team and couldn't get him over the hump.
Right. I mean,
but neither is Dave Roberts.
Well,
He's
Dave
got him
Roberts
too,
can get him there. He just can't seem to get them to finish.
And he's never going to get him to finish.
Who knows?
Not with the Central the way it is.
I do like Dave Roberts, though.
I like him too, but yeah,
It'd be a good fit in Chicago. On the south side.
I'd take him, honestly.
Better than Rick Renteria.
I like Ricky Renteria.
No, he's trash.
Here's the thing.
He's the reason why the Cubs got rid of him.
Not to go off on Chicago. I know we're here, but here's the thing with Rick. I like Renteria for the young players, but I don't like him being the manager. That's my biggest thing. Now going forward, I think they're going to have to find somebody.
It's
who's
almost
got
like
more
the
experience.
Bulls and Jim Boylan or whatever his last name is.
Boylan, come on, get
he
it
doesn't
right,
get his
man.
name right until he proves something. Is that what you're saying to me all the time?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right.
But you also criticize me when people say last names wrong.
I
so
know.
there you go.
That's my whole job.
But yeah, and to me, with Renteria, it's like I like the guy, but at the same time, we got to get somebody else in that job. I mean, whether it's Roberts or whoever is up
I'll
next.
take it.
Sure.
I wanted the Twins job.
Guys, Chris is right here. He will manage that team.
I wanted the Twins job a couple years ago.
You wanted
I
the
really
Twins?
did. I think I tweeted out at the Twins and it got deleted. I was like, I'll be your manager.
Well, I mean, right now they seem to be doing fine. So
I
I mean,
know.
that's
Shut
the
up.
problem. You're out of a job now, my friend.
Shut up.
Hey, you could go be the bench coach with Butch.
No.
You don't.
No.
Hey, because if we think about it, as many times as he gets thrown out of the game, man,
I'm calling Big
you
Z
could.
all the
Oh
time.
my God, please.
Dude, I'm putting butts in the seats then.
Well, then you got to be the next guy up who takes the base out and gives it to a kid.
Yeah.
Because remember, he's done that not once but twice. So, all right. So real quick too, is there any? I wanted to say something real quick on the free agents because obviously free agency it's still big. There's a lot of names out there that haven't been signed. So is there any free agents that you guys are seeing that you think will be signed soon, or are we just going to see more on the delay? Because obviously, if you haven't heard, Dallas Keuchel says he's going to be holding off on his own.
Quick thing. Speaking of Carlos Zambrano, the Dogs just tweeted out about 7 minutes ago. Our good friend Art Crone sent this to us.
Mm-hmm.
Today, our designated hitter had 2 hits. ... Our designated hitter was Carlos Zambrano.
Jesus. That's pretty good.
Big Z's not going to get.
Well, he had to get in the game because Hendricks tied his record last night.
Yeah.
With 3 hits
I gotta get it back, man. No, is there any top free agents that you think you guys will see pretty soon getting signed?
Dallas is
No.
is.
No. Kimbrel may be in Boston.
I just I was reading online that he wants 6 to 7 years at $180 million.
Kimbrel's come down.
And
Yeah, he's dropped his offer.
Kimbrel said he wants this at least over 6 years, $100 million.
Yeah, but he wanted
That
like.
was from 2 executives in Major League Baseball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he had originally wanted like 10 years.
Yeah,
for a
well,
bunch of money.
Still though, 6 years.
Yeah,
That's a lot for a guy.
It is a lot.
It's to secure themselves.
I
Right.
realize that, but if you're a major league team,
You gotta remember
dishing out that
You gotta
kind of
remember
money.
those. It's just like us. Think about it now. Like when we get a job in media, we're gonna negotiate our contracts.
Right.
They're negotiating their money, their financial. This is their income.
Yeah.
Like they don't have any other form of income. Like we can get another job. They really can't.
Well, I mean, there's certainly other opportunities out there, but nothing that pays to this kind of level. And
Yeah,
they
it'll come
certainly-
down to maybe a 2-year, maybe an option or 2.
That's the difficult thing, though, is that we're in this point now in baseball where
In all
analytics have
sports.
also in all sports where analytics now have taken over everything when it comes to paying a player. That now these guys who started way back when, who are now at this point where they're maxing out, are like, well, we want to get our money, and now the teams are saying, well, no, you can't because our numbers tell us that you're really worth this. You're not worth this. And
That's what arbitration is for.
yeah, and but that's the thing is like that it just gets tough on that.
Yeah.
Because I want to see Keuchel in the league, but you're not
for
going
who-
to until
He's
somebody
only
forks
had
it up.
like 2 good years in the last 5.
I know.
Preferably maybe in Cubby Blue. Just I don't want to see him in
How about
Brewers
black and white
colors.
pinstripes?
That's fine too. I don't want to see him in Brewers colors.
And
But I think as it gets closer to July,
yeah,
to the All-Star break,
Mhm.
and guys start going down,
yeah,
these two guys have a chance. They'll give them what they want, probably.
yeah.
But do you think the MLB will put something in where it'll be like, if you don't sign by a certain date, like the NFL,
Mhm.
then you're not playing, and you don't get paid?
I don't know if they will. I mean, obviously, Major League Baseball works a lot differently than the other leagues do, but it is always possible because if they feel
Because
like
look at
these
the past
guys,
2 off seasons.
right,
You, Darvish, Jake Arrieta took all the way till the start of the season.
right.
At
At
Bryce
what point do
Harper,
you say
Manny
enough is
Machado.
enough?
Bryce Harper and Manny Machado. Machado didn't take quite as long, but
Yeah.
Bryce Harper took as long as he wanted to. Obviously, we know the reason
Right.
why. And who is the agents for Keuchel and Kimbrel?
Keiko is Scott Boras.
Yeah.
Of course it is. We always come back to that guy. God,
Yeah,
I hate Boris.
Boris and we have a bit of a back and forth with Boris.
I would love to
here.
just tie him up and be like, all right, send your own
But
deal."
Boras, sometimes when push comes to shove, where somebody really needs a gig, sometimes he'll fold and they'll meet him halfway.
I mean,
But he's
there's
going to
no
try to get everything he
yeah.
wants.
For himself.
there's no denying he's a good agent, but
No, he's a terrible agent.
well, he's a good agent in terms of he can get the money for him and his players, but it certainly does a lot of damage. You can see because two guys who really could be effective to somebody are not in the game.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Cubs had him. Maybe don't have a bad start. Or at least Kimbrel don't have a bad start.
Right? Maybe you found your closer. Maybe the whole situation is solved.
The White Sox have him. Maybe have Keuchel. Maybe have one of the best rotations.
Maybe
it's
we're
really
maybe
not a
we're-
terrible
Maybe
rotation.
we're winning the AL Central. Holy cow! Could that be possible?
Just don't go to the Brewers.
This division is terrible.
Just don't go to the Brewers. That's all I ask. Don't go to Brewers. There's nothing in Milwaukee. There's literally nothing in Milwaukee. You'll spend all your time in
Except for
Chicago.
a team that can beat the Cubs potentially.
And they got,
Serious time.
and they got a
Yeah,
nice stadium.
It is. All right, ladies and gentlemen,
What, you
that's
get cheese and beer. Sorry.
They got a nice stadium, though.
No, it's
I
a
enjoy
terrible
going
stadium.
there.
it is a nice stadium.
Yeah, that's filled with Cubby Blue half the time.
All right. Well, what do you guys think about Major League Baseball? Do you have any favorite teams outside of your favorite local teams? Who do you like? What's your surprise team? What do you think about free agents? Who's going to be signing soon? You guys can let us know down below. Comment down below. Let us know all that good stuff. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to take a little breather here. But, Chris, this has been amazing, man. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me out again.
No problem, man. Anytime, man, at all. I love having you on here, man. Tom, of course, as always, you've always been good. You'll probably be back on
Yeah.
here. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Who knows? I might just chuck him through the window. We'll see. But we'll be right back here, ladies and gentlemen, on the X-Bomb Sports Live Show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hey, watch your mouth. Why? I'll just put a quarter in the swear jar. Once it's filled, we get a Coors party after work. I've been drinking Coors since my college days. Cold draft taste, second to none. Yeah, worth every quarter, am I right? You know it, mother. Hey, get those reports done?
Tyler texted me back. He said,
Yeah.
grab my bag.
No. You, sir.
He said he plans on staying out there on Saturday, so I guess I'll be here for Saturday.
Attention, employees.
The staff meeting, scheduled for this evening, will now be held tomorrow early as
Who's all?
All right. Well, just don't say that, will you?
Dudes, we're only 75 cents short. Oh, shh. The boss. Hey, sir, go yourself. You're fired.
No, I didn't. Or maybe I did. I didn't know.
Man, are you still working out? It's like 1,000 degrees.
Intense heat is nothing. To get an intense workout, you gotta be intense.
Our friend here's getting an intense workout with the intense cool of his Hydrotech Cool Breeze shoes. Which brings your feet a cooling sensation that is the best on the market today. Can only be explained with one word:
Intense!
Whether you're working out hard or just taking a stroll, these shoes have got your back, or I should say, your feet.
Aren't these shoes intense?
Maybe a little too intense, but there's no doubt they're cool.
Throughout the 1960s, 70s, and 80s, Judy Finelli established herself as a masterful juggler and performer, making appearances everywhere from Carnegie Hall to Sesame Street. With her loving heart, she has brought warm smiles to children everywhere she has performed. She even started the San Francisco School for the Circus Arts, but shortly after, she was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and by 2004, she was completely paralyzed. In celebration of her accomplishments and to fight the illness that had crippled Judy, a group of students from the San Francisco Clown College have compiled the perfect holiday present for those who want to laugh and to help those struggling with the illness. The goal has been set at $1 million raised, with 100% of any dollar made to be donated to the Judy Finelli Fund, which is helping find a cure to multiple sclerosis. Visit www.circuscenter.org to make a donation or to purchase a framed naked clown photo or the full Naked Clown 12-month calendar. Remember, 100% of every dollar is donated and goes to fighting MS.
Welcome back, everybody, here to the X-Mom Sports Live Show. I'm still Andrew Valentin, giving you the sultry voice, as always. Next to me is still Mr. Tom McKinney. Boo! I hate you so much. You just kill the mood. Unbelievable. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here. If you just missed the first half, we were talking the NHL playoffs. We were also talking, of course, Major League Baseball. Now, moving into a very heavy, bounce the ball off the court, put it in the hoop. Basketball, ladies and gentlemen. Tom, you ready to do this?
Yeah, the Winers League.
Sure. All right, well, let's get into it. Started off, ladies and gentlemen, we got NBA playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. It's going down. The conference finals are officially here. It is. I heard that. The Western Conference.
Set me up for it.
I know. The Western Conference Finals has officially been decided. They're already through Game 1. It's Warriors versus Trailblazers. Warriors won that game 116-94.
No, they didn't win that game. They stomped them.
Yeah, they did a number on them.
And they don't know how to guard Steph Curry.
It's very difficult. Meanwhile, the Eastern Conference Finals, you have the Milwaukee Bucks taking on the Toronto Raptors. That's going on today at 7:30 tonight on TNT, so you guys can go check that out. So, obviously, looking at these playoffs, I mean, just wondering, like, how did we get here? How did it get to this situation? Because
I'm gonna tell you right now. So,
yeah.
So Milwaukee decided that they actually wanted to play basketball.
Really?
Yeah, and Boston decided they didn't want to have another parade in Boston. They were done with after the Bruins win. So they said, we're just going to let Milwaukee actually win something.
Well, that's the interesting thing here. You were very heavy on Boston, and
I don't want to talk about it.
All right. But I was also kind of feeling Boston as well. I mean, I think a lot of people were. You know, you look at Kyrie Irving and you look at Hayward coming back, and you think, hey, this is going to be a really good team, right? And
be a really good team. No.
And all throughout the season, it was just turmoil. It seemed like the team looked great, and then they'd have such a down period, and then they'd be back for a while, and then they'd be back down. I mean, it was just such a messy situation going on in Boston.
I don't want Terry Rozier, by the way.
You don't want Terry Rozier?
No.
For those that don't know about this whole situation, Terry Rozier is very upset with what happened this season with the Celtics because, if you guys don't know, in the playoffs last year, he was used quite a bit because obviously Kyrie Irving was hurt. He really showed that he could emerge and potentially be a good X factor for the Boston Celtics. But now, after this season, he hasn't been really utilized a lot, and throughout the playoffs, he hardly saw any action at all. So this now becomes a difficult situation because I believe his contract's up this year or something.
He's a free.
I think he's an unrestricted free agent or restricted free agent. So he has the potential to go elsewhere if somebody wants him. But now that question comes up, and he says he's not very happy with his life in Boston. So
I don't know why.
I mean,
it's a beautiful place, I've heard.
I mean, look, the city, they loved the Celtics. They cheered for these guys all the way through. Everybody believed that this team could beat the Bucks, but
dude, it's the Garden. The Garden should be bouncing right now.
It should be, but unfortunately, they had their struggles.
They lost to an under. What's the word I'm looking for?
Underdog? Is that
underdog team.
Yeah.
Hold on. underdog team because they're the number 1 overall seed. But really, did anybody think the Bucks were this good?
Well, that's the thing is that everybody looked at the Bucks and said, well, they're a good team, but they're a one-man team. It's Giannis, and that's
the Raptors.
it. That's true. The Raptors are also a one-man team. I mean, it's Kawhi, and that's it. And somehow, both of these guys have seemed to put on the mask of Jordan, if I can use that so lightly.
Unacceptable.
Fine. It's just in the fact that they took they went themselves and just said, you know what? I'm going to win the game for you. That's basically what they said. Kawhi said, you know what, Toronto? I'm going to get you to the Eastern Conference Finals. And that's what Giannis said. Giannis said, you know what, guys? I'm going to get you to the Eastern Conference Finals. And they did it.
I still don't want to see a Canadian team in the championship. I don't know why.
You're such against Canada.
I don't know why. I just don't want to see it. I think it'd be funny not to see a Canadian team win a Stanley Cup or an NBA championship. It'd be awesome.
Yeah. Now, obviously, there's more questions that are going to be launched now because of Boston now not being out of the playoffs. There's the whole thing with Kyrie, but we'll get into that another time. We've got no time for that one, believe me. But it's certainly with Milwaukee coming through like this, I mean, I'm a little surprised, and it's not just because of how
Milwaukee can win this championship. They just can't win a World Series.
You are so against everybody that's not Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
It is amazing.
I'm loyal.
Yeah, I know you are, and there's much respect in that. Believe me.
By the way, Edison Russell hit his first home run.
Jesus, I don't know how to feel about that.
So I said it.
Yeah, I know. But no, for Milwaukee, I mean, this group is good. I think Giannis he can lead them to the NBA Finals.
The promised land.
But the promised land. But I think the problem is the same thing that I see with Toronto.
Is it
like
with
you
that
just said.
team that starts with a W and ends in an S the problem?
Yes, and we'll get to them here pretty soon. Because it's not even just that, but it's also the fact that when you look at like Milwaukee's team, right? It's Giannis. Chris Middleton's good, but he's not great. Eric Bledsoe's good, but he's not great.
They built the team around Giannis, and that's
Right.
what the Bulls need to do.
Yeah, well, we don't have a Giannis.
No, we have a Laurie.
Well, I mean, Laurie's
Or a
good,
Zach.
but he's not great, and Zach's good, but he's not great.
Build the team around them, though. Make
I would
them
hope so.
your team.
I would hope so. Or go draft your new franchise player, something. Hint, hint, go get a top pick, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, Milwaukee, Toronto, I think they're good. I just think that they're missing a lot. They're missing a lot, and they're going to need to really load up on the weapons.
On top of that, they're going to go up against a team that starts with a W and ends in an S, and they're called the Warriors.
Oh, I thought you meant the Whales.
Maybe the Whales. I don't know.
Well, they certainly are a whale of a team.
Weren't they the Golden? No, that was a hockey team.
Oh, yeah, they were the Whalers.
No, California Golden Seals.
Oh, yeah. That's what you went with that?
Yeah, I went with that. Because the Golden.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, well, yeah, but yes, that's the other thing obviously here too. The Warriors, I mean, look, they're
even without Durant. By the way,
yeah, they're stacked. I mean, well, and that's the thing is they've won without Durant. He's out. He was out for Game 1. He's potentially out for Game 2 now against Portland. I mean, they struggled against the Rockets, and I will say this: the Rockets did a decent job of holding them back. But I mean, come on, it's the Warriors. Like you can see. When Steph's all by himself, when it's Klay Thompson, Steph Curry.
First off, where's the defense?
You can't play defense against that team.
You can if you go up and try to block them.
You can, but even
you could have put a house in between the defender and Steph Curry last night.
Yeah, but but here's the thing: even if you put that house in front of Steph Curry, he'll find a way to shoot it over the roof and get it in.
That's fine. You contested the shot. Don't just stay there.
Well, look, I mean, it's tough though. That's
Am I wrong though?
No, you're not wrong.
Okay,
you're not wrong.
good.
But you've got to remember because this team becomes two different teams with Kevin Durant being on there and not on there.
I get that.
Because when Kevin Durant's out there, they kind of are a bit more of a stiff team because he's like a can do everything guy. But when he's off the court, all of a sudden they've got to move a lot more.
I think. I mark my words. I think Kevin Durant leaves, and I think the Splash Brothers stay. Draymond Green can go do whatever he wants. And it's going to be the Splash Brothers again.
Oh, there's no doubt that I mean, look, I think Kevin Durant's going to test the waters. I don't know if he'll leave necessarily, but I think he'll test the waters. Draymond Green is by far the most expendable player on that team at this point. Yeah. I mean, it's just a given, right?
I haven't heard his name in a while.
I mean, he's
is he even still playing?
He is.
Oh,
not all impressively, but he's playing. But yeah, I mean, this Warriors team, look, they've proven that they can win without KD.
They've proven they can win without Steph.
Right. I mean, this team is loaded with talent. They run like 8, 9, 10 guys deep. I mean, they have weapons everywhere. You can't,
quote unquote, Jordan Bell.
Yeah. I mean, you can't stop this team, unfortunately. I mean, you can, but in order for you to do that, you actually have to have every component locked down on every position. And unfortunately, you can't do that because Kyle Lowry can't hang with Steph Curry, right?
No.
Eric Bledsoe can't hang with Steph Curry. I mean,
His
only
brother can't hang with Steph Curry.
The only guys that I see actually having matchups are Kawhi and KD and Giannis. And you want to talk about what's going on with Portland? Portland has no answer for KD, in my opinion.
They don't know how to play defense.
And really, I think C.J. McCollum and Damian Lillard are good, but they're not Steph Curry. They're not Klay Thompson. Those guys know how to hit the shots. And after that, it's just kind of a mess when it comes down to it.
Well, let's see. Wait and see.
Yeah, exactly. We'll just have to wait and see, ladies and gentlemen. Bringing him back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm bringing him back.
Until Brett texts you, be like, oh, my God.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it here for the NBA playoff talk. What do you guys think about what's going down in the NBA? Let us know what you guys think. Who's winning the Western Conference? Who's winning the Eastern Conference? Who's going to win in the NBA Finals? Are you going to have any prediction for the Finals, any chance?
Warriors, Raptors. No, Warriors, Bucks.
Warriors, Bucks, because you don't want to see Canada.
No, I don't want to see Canada win a trophy.
There's such a thing. You know what? We're going to Canada, and you're apologizing to everybody in Canada, saying, I'm sorry.
Poop.
I'm sorry, Aboot it. That's
No.
what you have to say. I'm sorry, Aboot, making fun of you.
No.
Yes.
I'll poop in their maple syrup.
Jeez. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, comment down below. Let us know what you guys think about who's winning this thing. I'm going Raptors Warriors, and I'm going Raptors win it all, baby. That's right. Toronto gets that first title. All right.
Yeah, they can actually win a championship unlike their hockey team.
Ooh, jeez, took in another slap at the face. All right.
Learn how to beat Boston.
Moving away from that, obviously this is going to be the final topic of the day because it was the big moment yesterday. If you guys did not watch, it was by far.
Wait, the Bulls didn't get the #1 pick?
No, they didn't.
Oh, my God.
But neither did the New York Knicks.
Is it rigged?
So, to Dave Kaplan.
I like that. What the Horace Grant.
Yeah, exactly. So to Dave Kaplan, Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, Colin Cowherd, to all the ESPN, FS1, CBS sports analysts out there that said, oh, the Knicks are going to get the #1 pick and they're going to get it down. Wrong. You're all wrong.
They were wrong in the sense because they're still used to the old system.
Right.
The Knicks, if there was the old system, Knicks would have gotten #1
right,
pick.
because the rules changed where the top 3 teams got a fair chance. You didn't realize, but here's the thing. I don't think anybody saw that coming, though.
If you watched the NHL draft lottery, you would.
Because here's the thing.
Because they're doing it that way now.
Yeah.
It's literally how the NHL draft lottery is.
Yeah, and honestly, this was...
Not being the greatest league in the
Well,
world.
it's up for debate, and we'll debate that maybe sometime soon.
You won't win.
we might. But, yeah, if you guys didn't watch the NBA draft lottery top 5 teams... New Orleans got #1, Memphis got #2, Knicks got #3, Lakers somehow got
rigged.
#4.
It's rigged.
And Cleveland got the #5 pick. So those are your top 5 picks. Bulls fell to 7th.
Again.
For the second year in a row
Third
through
year.
the draft. Through the it's the 3rd year in a row. No,
Third
because we
year?
traded for the 7th pick with Laurie.
Oh, okay.
So it's the second year we've got it through the draft lottery. It's the 3rd year we would be drafting getting a 7th player at #7, technically. Okay. So, but yeah, this draft, this lottery by far, it was worth it for the reactions they had around the world. If you didn't see the bars and all the videos from New York, my God, the fans were so upset. One dude punched his wall, another one kicked his TV. Stephen A. Smith almost cried on TV.
Oh, I would have paid big money for that. I would have gone broke.
It was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic because everybody was so convinced. They were so convinced New York's going to get this pick. Everybody believed, oh, Zion's going to New York. You can't.
Our good friend Ben Breckley shared a post of a.
What did he say?
No, he shared a video of a Bulls fan. It came down as like the 6th or 8th pick, and then the 7th pick. Please, he's like, please don't let us get the 7th pick. Like 7th pick, the Chicago Bulls will be picking #7. He's like, no. Throwing stone.
Honestly.
And then I came out with the greatest Facebook post ever of, hey, at least the Blackhawks have the 3rd overall.
Yeah, we wasted all the luck on hockey.
Let's go, greatest
I
league
blame
ever.
him. No, but honestly, this whole
Hey, New York, you at least have a top 2 pick in the NHL draft.
right, yeah.
If that makes you feel better.
Well, they got top 3.
No, they're number 2.
No, the Knicks have number 3.
Yeah, but they wanted 1 or 2. They're number 2 in the NHL.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah, it's the Devils, Rangers, Hawks.
Oh, so they're gonna butcher it both ways. Okay, that'll be fun.
It could be great.
This draft, this whole draft
So
situation.
they botched
is
it. That
just
means the Blackhawks get either Jack Hughes or the Finnish guy, which is great. I'll tell
Capo
you.
Caco.
Yeah, I can't pronounce it yet. I
Capo
gotta hear-
Caco. That's how you
No,
say his name.
It's not how you
It's
say
how
it.
I say his name. I've
No.
looked it up online. I promise
Yeah.
you.
It's not how you pronounce it.
I promise you, it's how you say his name. But yeah, this whole draft process was just insane. Everybody's calling it rigged. Honestly, I call it poetic justice.
I'm calling it rigged in the fact that the Lakers are up there.
Yeah, that was where, because when they got to the top 4, they put up the top 4 to be like, okay, so these are the teams that could have the top 4 picks or are gonna have them, but what the order are they gonna go into? And I looked at them, I said, New York, LA, the number 1 and number 2 markets in the country, okay, and then New Orleans and Memphis, 2 of the lowest markets in the
If
country.
you
And,
wanted
like,
it high, why didn't you go New York, LA, Chicago?
Right.
Boom.
And that's the thing is, like, people would probably say, oh, it's more rigged because you got the top 3 markets then in the country. Right, exactly.
I heard it perfectly on 670 Score today, which I've been listening to. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Why you are not helping the league. The biggest loser of this NBA draft was the NBA. You are not helping the league because you're making bad teams in good markets terrible still, like the Bulls, even though the Bulls would mess it up.
Well, yeah, that's a given.
And the Lakers and the Knicks,
Yeah.
who are just there. I give the Bulls just there because they sort of are. They didn't
We're
have
in
all
the
the
top 10.
If they didn't have the injuries last year, they could have been a little bit better, and the core would have played together. That's the problem. The core hasn't played together.
Right.
Laurie really hasn't played much with Zach. Zach really hasn't played much with Otto Porter.
And they haven't. And the coaching situation is such a mess.
I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That's a whole nother issue. That's stupid.
Right.
But you gave 2 chances for lower market teams in New Orleans, which still is a high market, but for basketball, it's not the market. It is a football town.
Yeah. And baseball, weirdly enough.
You have the baby cakes.
Yeah.
But that's just a crate mascot.
Right.
So whatever.
But yeah, it's.
And then you give it to Memphis. I've been to Memphis. Let me tell you something there. There's nothing in Memphis. We were there for 2 minutes and we were out, and then we were in Arkansas.
Was it 2 minutes? Because I felt long.
Yeah, I know, why we
I know.
went through Memphis to go to Arkansas
You're the navigator.
baffles me.
You were the navigator.
I was ready to throw my phone out the window.
No, but this. I mean, it did feel weird because it's like the top 2 markets and then Memphis, which is just I don't mean for it to be, but it is obscurity for the NBA. It really is, because nobody pays attention to Memphis. And New Orleans, I mean, people love it, but at the same time, nobody's really watching those games prime time. But then it just felt like all of a sudden it's like, well, okay, we can't have this happen. So what do? Oh, let's put the top 2 markets at the bottom. But then when you do that, you do realize, like you said, you're hurting your own product. Because look, I don't want to say the NBA is rigging it, but who knows? But if let's say they did the NFL thing, right? The worst teams get the top pick. If that's the case, all of a sudden, oh look, New York gets Zion at the number 1 pick,
and the Bulls pick 4th. Okay,
Yeah.
we're not going to complain about that.
Right.
The Bulls just won a few more games. We're going to be more pissed at the Bulls.
right?
We're not going to be mad at the league.
Are you going to be mad that maybe your top 3 markets and the first 4
But
picks
here's my
get
whole argument.
big players?
Here's my whole argument.
Yeah.
With the fact that you have players, to the NHL, they're doing it the same way the NHL does it.
Right.
Quote unquote, the Blackhawks should be picking 12th. As soon
Right.
as whoever landed the 12th pick had that spot, the Blackhawks jumped up to the top 3.
Right.
They don't do the top 4, they do the top 3.
Right.
And all of a sudden it was just like, oh, with the 3rd pick this year, the Blackhawks, who were supposed to be picking 12th,
Right.
now have a chance at a perennial star, another Patrick Kane or Jonathan Toews or Duncan Keith or Corey
knows,
Crawford.
yeah.
Whichever way they go, don't go goaltender. I'm begging you now, don't go goaltender.
Go later in the draft for that.
Yes, thank you. It's like a kicker.
Yeah.
You can find a good goaltender later in the draft.
Yeah.
But you. What? I'm so
Somebody had
confused.
something to say about
I'm
that.
so confused.
You're fine. Keep going.
But you can't. You got to help out your league. The NHL helps out their league. People are calling that you have 2 original 6 teams in the top 3. It's rigged. No, you have 2 original 6 teams. You have a team that just so happened to jump up there. The Rangers are terrible, so you knew they were probably going to pick high. The Devils were god awful. They were probably going to pick high.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate the Panthers aren't up there because they were terrible this year.
Right.
Like, you look at the terrible teams, and it just so happens that the Blackhawks got lucky. Same thing happened when we got Patrick.
Your best markets are right
Kane.
there.
Same thing happened when we got Patrick Kane. It was supposed to be – it came down to Philly and us.
Right.
And the ball knocked out Philly, and Blackhawks got Patrick Kane. Philly got James Van Riemsdyk. If it was the opposite way around, we would have James Van Riemsdyk and Philly would have Patrick Kane. And who knows where we would be?
Right.
I don't know. Maybe not talking about hockey.
Yeah, who knows? We may not even have the Stanley Cups we have right now.
So
for all we know.
So it's not that it's rigged. I think it's rigged a little bit that the Lakers were up there.
Yeah.
Because as someone
sketchy.
As someone put it, LeBron B.
Yes.
Or Le B.
Yeah.
There's a B word in there. Doesn't make the playoffs in the NBA, gets him in a top 4 pick.
Right.
I don't understand that.
Yeah. It's odd.
That's the only one that bothers me the most. We knew the Knicks should be up there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with the Grizzlies and the Pelicans.
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions there now. Will AD stay? Who knows? We'll wait and see.
Yeah.
But for that fact that the Bulls keep picking 7 doesn't help. You had the Jordaners. For us in Chicago, let me just go about that. And it's something that I've heard all the time.
Go.
A 28-year-old called into, I forget what time slot it was, but they called in today.
Yeah.
Might have been Before Lauren's Home, the show Before Lauren's Home, McKnight.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that show. He said, I was just on Earth during the Jordan heyday, like the end of the Jordan era.
Yeah.
You and me both. We're right there. Both born in 93.
Right.
So we got, I don't remember 95.
I remember it because we have the videotapes of it. You know what I mean?
Obviously.
And I was old enough to see the last championship, so I kind of remember that one.
I was old enough to see the last one,
Right.
but don't remember it.
Right.
I don't remember 96 much.
we
I
were
don't remember
alive.
97.
Yeah.
I barely remember 98. So we are at that point where it's either we do something now or we're going to be asking for heads and we're going to look like the Lakers organization.
Yeah, exactly.
And unfortunately, they said it the way that I've been speaking it, and it's terrible that I'm going to keep saying it, is that Jerry is still in control of the Bulls, and it's not Mike.
Yeah.
It's not Michael. As soon as Michael takes full control, we will have another Blackhawks, and I can see 3 championships from the Bulls. Once Jerry dies, or finally his son finally slaps him in the face and says, get out of my office, this is no longer your team.
Yeah.
The Bulls will win 3 championships in this team and gets rid of Gar. That's another thing.
Can I just say really quickly before we continue with this, you just made me so proud.
Dude, I've listened to it all day today.
You have made me so proud, dude.
But it's true.
No, it's very true. And you know what? I'm glad you brought this up. It's so awesome that you did.
On top of that, they keep going back to the D Rose era. Yes,
Right.
we had great playoff teams during the D Rose era.
Oh, there's no doubt.
But we couldn't get past LeBron. Get over it. Make this team, get rid of the coach you have. He was voted the worst coach to play for by the players.
Yes.
There was no reason to lock him up. You could have gone and got Jason Kidd. I would have taken Jason Kidd.
Yeah.
I would have taken Jason Kidd.
Or Juwan Howard or anybody.
You know, I would have taken Stephen A. Smith for that matter.
I don't know if I go that far.
Maybe not that far, but at the same time, I'd rather have Stephen A. Smith than Bowling or whatever.
Yeah, you're right because the players had said that they expressed
not
their
just
dislike
the
with
Bulls
him.
players, around the league.
Oh, it was a league.
It was a league-wide vote.
I heard of the Bulls.
Of the coaches who are least likely, who people don't want to play for, and who want to play for.
Yeah.
And it was Bulls coach right now,
right,
and Tom Thibodeau.
Oh, jeez. So 2 former Bulls coaches.
Well, one's Bull coach,
right.
One former.
Well, one former, one current.
And the fact that the Bulls had to have a front office had to have an intervention with Jim. I'm just gonna call him Jim because I don't like his last name. That 3s are better than 2s.
Yeah.
Because he was all about the 2s and slowing down the game. Go watch Golden State.
Yeah.
Go watch Boston. Go watch the Bucks. Go watch the Raptors. Go watch San Antonio. Go watch anybody else in the league. They're playing fast. Hell, the Knicks are playing fast.
Yeah.
And you have the Suns. They're playing fast. Everybody's playing fast. You want to play slow?
Yeah.
What is this?
Well, and it's like you've mentioned, like we've always talked about this, and regular season, offense is what counts.
Yeah.
Defense counts in the playoffs.
No, defense counts in the championships. That's what wins you the championship.
Right.
That's the old saying in football.
And it counts in the playoffs too, I would say, but not to the extent that you would say. Like
obviously, you need to score points to win games.
Right.
So yes, offense is a big factor, but without a good defense, you're not winning a championship.
Exactly. But yeah, to say that I remember hearing about that. Like he wants to have a slower paced game. I'm like, you do that, you lose. You understand that. That's not how this works. You have
shut down Zach LaVine, basically.
Yeah. I mean,
he could be a superstar.
If
you let Zach LaVine be Zach LaVine the way he wants to be,
right,
and Lauri Markkanen be the way he wants to be, they're superstars.
Yeah, and Otto Porter too. I wouldn't put it past him to maybe be.
We potentially have 3 superstars on our team.
Yeah, and who knows if whoever we
don't get Reddish though, because I don't want to hear fear the Reddish.
God no, I do.
That's something I heard today. They're like. It would be a perfect marketing thing. Fear the Reddish. Fear the Reddish. I was like, no, I don't want Reddish. I don't want it anymore. It ruined it. Don't want it.
25% from 3-point range. I don't want it. No.
But he could be a player you can mold in the way you want him.
True. Well, that's the thing is, like you said, you have 3 potential superstars, whoever you draft, and then Wendell Carter Jr. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
You never know what you've got. And so, ladies and gentlemen, Tom is our new NBA analyst.
I'm still going back to hockey.
I have to say, I'm very proud of you. I applaud you for that, man. Good job. Very good job. I like that. This is what it means to take initiative, ladies and gentlemen. All right, well, with that, ladies, we'll talk on the NBA draft more. We'll get more in depth in it on Saturday. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to end the show. Tom, where can they find you, my man?
McLovin6193 on Instagram and Twitter.
Sounds so worn out.
I'm tired, dude. I've been up since 6 o'clock. I've worked 6 o'clock all week.
I know. I thank you for battling through this. And again, great job today, man. I got to get, like I said, a lot of props to you today, man.
Really? Who ran NBA analyst? Get out of here. Get out of here.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about. You just took my... All right, so McLovin6193, guys. Make sure to go check him out on Twitter, on Instagram. He's all over the place. He's also posting funny stuff on Facebook because he's making fun of everybody.
Rick and Morty's coming back by the way, guys. Let's go.
Yes, it is. All right. Well, you guys can find me on Twitter at @TheFluffyGuru. You guys can find me on Instagram at @TheBoomCrewCaptain. If you guys make sure to go check out Putting Up Points. I hate you. Putting Up Points on SportsTownChicago.com. It is Jake Bradley and Tyler Prickett, our guys in the background, who do amazing work. They're going to be on the radio. They just did their first show. You guys should go check it out.
It was really bad,
Again,
actually.
SportsTownChicago.com. Saturday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. They're going to be on, and then they're probably going to be jumping on our show afterwards, as long as they're not too tired. If you guys want to go check us out, make sure to go to our Facebook page, be a part of the Boom Crew Captain. Boom Crew Captain. Be a part of the Boom Crew. Like us on Facebook. Join the conversation. We're going to be posting more stuff up there. We've got the old episodes up there. Follow us on Twitter at XBombSports. Follow us on Instagram as well at XBombSports, where we usually post the shows and all the stuff. What are you doing?
I don't know. I'm losing my mind.
What else am I'm forgetting? Oh, the Respawn Cast. How could I almost forget the Respawn Cast?
So to get you through a whole show forgetting something?
You
forgot this.
Make sure to go follow the Respawn Cast, guys. They're on Twitch.tv. They stream every Tuesday and every Friday. It's Kat, Kevin, and Shaq. They again every Tuesday and every Friday. You can find them live streaming on Twitch.tv. Follow them on Facebook. They got a Facebook page. Follow them on Twitter. I believe they have a Twitter as well. And also, too, guys, make sure to subscribe to this YouTube page, XBomb Productions. Like, comment, subscribe. Give us all that kind of stuff. Lick, scuba dive, and all that good stuff. I don't know. I always like to say different.
Shut up.
Jesus. You're right in the nose.
Yes.
All right. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. We'll see you guys next time. Much love. Peace out, Boom Crew.